Okay, so season 1 is done. Now we got to season 2. And season 2 was started on September 29th, 2002, and ended February 23rd, 2003. 22 episodes this time instead of the 15. So basically, the kids deal with a lot of challenges such as child abuse, that being Craig, hormones, most of the guys, date rape, that would be Paige, body image, probably Terry, hate crimes, Hazel, who's involved in that, sexual identity, Marco, alcoholism, probably Sean, I don't know, or Jimmy, or protest, Emma. This is the first season to feature high school students from grade 9 and last season to have middle school students. The second season started, well, the second season was on CTV Sunday at 7 o'clock and had the 60-minute special When Doves Cry, the two-parter. All additional episodes were also aired on Fridays in January 2003. The end had the US things. A critical and popular success, the second season of Degrassi Next Generation was the most watched Canadian drama series for Canada's viewers from 2 to 34. It was nominated 8 times for Gemini's, 4 for Directors Guild Canada Awards, and Young Artist Awards. 4 episodes were also nominated at the Awards of Excellence Gala. The main cast, there were 3 people who were in 20 episodes, so they weren't in all of them. 20 of them were Spinner, JT, and Hazel. 19 had 3, Manny, Sean, and Radich. Surprisingly, Radich beat main characters. Like Emma had 18 episodes. That's unusual. So anyway, yeah. Well received by critics alike. Degrassi's second season became the most watched dramatic series, blah, blah, blah. It was not without controversy. There were a number of episodes with scenes of one teenager being beaten by his father. When reviewing those episodes, Ryerson said the show stands on its own, reflecting the kind of issues teenagers are facing in their lives. He handled with care and consideration without all the glamour of soap opera. The two-part storyline about date rape proved too risky for the end and basically delayed until edits could be made. And other special treatments were available in the form of panel discussions, online parental guides, and filmed introductions. So anyway, Degrassi won Best Interactive category for the next. Bruce McDonald won the Gemini Award for Best Direction in a Children's or Youth Series with Weird Science, and White Wedding earned a nomination in Picture Editing and Drawing Series. Careless Whisper had a nomination. All that. Jake Epstein won an award for Best Performance in a Children's or Youth Program in Tears Are Not Enough. Yeah. So anyway, CTV aired episode 14, Careless Whisper, 2 days before episodes 12 and 13. The two episodes, White Wedding, which was weird. Episode 18 actually aired before episode 17. In the US, the end decided to put season 2 in 2 blocks. The first from October to January, and the second block from July to August. Due to the sensitive subject of rape, episode 7 and 8 Shelt 2-part special was held over in the US until July 11th. All that. So yeah, the Americans had some problems. So first episode was called When Doves Cry in season 1. As the new school year begins, Degrassi is now a full-fledged high school from 7th to 12th grade, much to the chagrin of the students. Craig, who's now in 9th grade, becomes quick friends with Sean and attracts Emma and Manny, but his home life is less than perfect because he deals with an abusive father and his own need to be around his stepfather, that being Joey, and half-sister Angela. JT tries to ask Paige out, but Paige makes a bet with Hazel and Spinner to be with JT. Craig is introduced in this episode, basically wooing both Manny and Emma and all that. Of course, Emma came off her breakup with Sean, and Manny, was nice. So anyway, it was hard. It was hard seeing Craig in that episode. What his father was like, such a jerk, and like why Joey thinks Craig's interested in him and his little girl Angie. It turns out that Joey married Julia, which was Craig's mother. Craig's mother left Albert, that being Craig's father, and basically went for Joey. Craig's dad, it's almost imperative that Craig's dad basically gets mad at Craig because he has to unleash his anger at something, and Craig unfortunately is the best person. So regardless of that, Craig, like Joey thinks that Craig is just being creepy. However, when Emma and Sean reach him after Craig almost gets run over by a train, Joey changes his tone, thinking that Craig is not okay. So basically, Craig is allowed to move in with Joey for the time being until Albert has his shit figured out. Next is girls just want to have fun. Emma is shocked when Spike tells her that she's dating Mr. Simpson. After Spike cancels a girls' night with Emma to be with him, Craig helps Emma and Manny crash the seniors' 80s dance. Spinner and Jimmy compete each other in the breakdancing contest, but they both lose to Marco, and this was the first time that Marco was introduced as a character and all that. He won the contest and a Leafs jersey and all that. It's like, woo, Marco, go Marco. So anyway, Emma is shocked because, Spike's dating her teacher. Emma, of course, doesn't let on that, this could be awkward for her. Her overbearingness basically ruins it. So yeah. Next episode is Karma Chameleon, when Ashley tries to make amends for her actions at the house party, but unfortunately ends up with fewer friends because when she makes plans to go on a date with Sean. Toby is smitten with the new girl, Kendra, not realizing she's been her sister. Toby does tell Spinner that he knows no bounds. Spinner says, "Don't hurt my sister." So anyway, this was the first episode that Daphne Hasselhoff and Ellie Nash were in. Miss Hasselhoff and Ellie, good old Ellie. The problem is that you can't. Yeah, Ashley's trying to make amends and all that, and she has torn between Sean and Jimmy. But Paige, I believe I think Paige was being a bitch and all that. Basically, her Queen Bee role, basically forcing everyone not to be friends with her. The next episode is Weird Science, when Emma is unsure about how people will feel when it's found out that Mr. Simpson's dating her mom, and she wants to win the science fair. Spinner is having trouble controlling his erections and tries to eat fruit because he gets more attention from the girls. Basically, he's doing a package. Yeah, it's basically that Emma basically doesn't know about Simpson, but Manny accidentally gives an email to the media enrichment class, and basically Emma's first place project at the science fair seems tainted. Liberty tells her to give back the award. It's obvious that, well, okay, Liberty has a point because, Emma may have won it by bias and all that, but I think Liberty was just being a bitch. Basically, Liberty just wanted that science fair project and knew that Emma's conscience would be eating at her, and basically, it's revenge for Emma spreading those rumors about Liberty and Armstrong, even though Emma misread the situation. Next episode is Drive, and when Craig is allowed to move a car on Joey's used car lot, he thinks he can drive. But unfortunately, he fails miserably, and Joey gets pissed on him. Ashley finally finds a friend, that being Ellie, and wants to impress her by being goth and get her belly button pierced. All that. And then you got Shout. That's when Paige and Dean bump into each other. That's when we see Dean for the first fucking time. At rival school Bardell. So Dean was a soccer player. I wonder if I said football or lacrosse. But anyway, they have an attraction. She has a bad situation because she blows off Spinner to be with Dean, and you know what happened. JT and Toby have a strained relationship and all that. So anyway, Paige has to come to terms with her sexual assault after Ashley writes a song about rape for PMS, that's Paige's group, to perform on stage for a contest. Liberty acts out in an attempt to try to show JT that, she's attracted to him, and she's not as vanilla, as you will. All that. So anyway, yeah, Paige doesn't know what to do, and Ashley writes the rape song. But Paige helps them out. But Paige actually does the song. Dean leaves. Mirror in the bathroom is the next one. When Toby decides to join the wrestling team in a way to try to get his image, not being just a computer geek. When you see Sean is popular, Toby decides to develop dangerous habits to lose weight and all that. Terry actually ends up, and this was the episode when Terry is found out to be a plus size model and basically yelling at an ice cream guy saying that this is my paycheck. How much have you earned? And basically shutting the fucker up. So anyway, yeah, Toby tried to lose weight. It was first an attempt to try to get away from Sean because Sean was Toby's weight class. So Toby decides to be a weaker kid. But unfortunately, Toby passes out and basically has an eating problem. Kendra feels sorry for him. Next is Take My Breath Away. This episode was when Manny actually decides to go after Craig after crushing on him for months. And they talk about their evening. Ellie wants to get love notes to Marco, but Marco thinks they're from Hazel. Next episode is Don't Believe the Hype. This was also a good episode, in my opinion. Hazel is the prime suspect when a Muslim girl she taunts is discriminated against on International Day, which makes her deal with her own insecurities. Liberty and JT have some problems with home economics. Liberty's sewing sucks, but JT's is good because JT's mom basically is a wizard with the sewing needles. So basically, yeah, JT is found out to do girls stuff, but the girls, including Emma and Manny, decide to give JT some money to make skirts of their own, and he basically sticks his tongue out at the guys. So anyway, International Day was huge. I mean, got to see a lot of cultures. Spitter couldn't really find a culture he was affiliated with. Snake with a Swedish t-shirt on. I guess it was because of his mother. Raj in a kilt. That just killed me. I'm sorry. I know they played Raj for comedic effect, but yeah, that was proven. And of course, Hazel having her own problems. Like Hazel was the lesser known character, and this was her only main plot line. Yeah, because Hazel was hiding the fact she was Somalian and thinks that basically everyone will feel bad about her. Remember, this is December 2002, just 16 months after 9/11. So yeah, it was huge. The indiscriminate. Of course, Hazel is not the prime suspect because they found evidence that 2 10th graders did it, like a year above them. Hazel comes out as being Somalian, and no one basically gives a crap about it. Next is White Wedding, the two-parter that Emma basically is preparing for Snake and Spike's wedding after giving her blessing to them. Unfortunately, Spike ends up getting pregnant because Snake doesn't really want to have a woman. And she wanted to have an abortion to salvage the relationship. Unfortunately, Emma is having terrible hair. She's upset that Manny invited Sean to the wedding because Sean, hurt her previous year. And also the fact that her mom basically wants to have an abortion. So that's nothing that Emma is happy about. JT and Toby interject themselves by trying to make themselves well known and see a stripper and all that, but they fall asleep and basically get caught by Joey. It's kind of one of the only episodes that Mr. Raj basically lets his hair down, if you will, because he doesn't seem to be as careless as you think he is. But, that happens. And so, Emma wants to talk to Snake about the fact that Spike wants to abort a baby. I mean, after all, Emma is an abortion that almost happened. I mean, that does give her the credency of basically butting in. I mean, okay, fine, you don't want an abortion because you thought you were going to be an abortion, but that doesn't mean you just go out of your depth to basically try to get what you want. So basically, that happens. But they do manage. They want to raise the kid. They want to do everything, and Emma's happy that they're together and they'll deal with the kids. Next is Careless Whisper. Ellie wants a relationship with Marco, but Marco can't do it with her, and Ellie realizes why. Toby wants to spend time with Kendra, which makes her feel suffocated. I think it's mostly because Toby having the problems with his parents and all that. He doesn't want a bad relationship. He wants to have a meaningful relationship, but it just didn't work out. Hot for Teacher is when JT is in deep trouble for mocking her and take care of her pet guinea pigs. Basically, he develops a bond with her over the guinea pigs, which leads to a crush. Jimmy and Spinner do an all honesty pact, but everyone's at their throats. Message in a Bottle is when Jimmy and Sean try to bury the hatchet for the basketball team. Meanwhile, Sean finally comes back to being a couple with Emma, but unfortunately, he has issues at home with his brother and with Spike's comments towards his living situation, so he jeopardizes their relationship. And Jimmy actually feels anxious for Ashley. So, anyway, in Relax, Liberty basically decides to be team manager of the girls' floor hockey team. Unfortunately, her bossy attitude makes enemies out of the floor hockey team. The floor hockey team decides to face the boys' basketball team in a game of hockey for the rights to actually be sponsored by Jeremiah Motors. So anyway, Paige uses Terry to her advantage after Terry misreads a palm reading. But anyway, Liberty gets the girls' floor hockey team to quit on them. But in the end, Liberty learns her lesson, decides to get rid of her Napoleon tactics, and everything is okay. Dressed in Black was the 18th episode. Ashley and Jimmy want to have a relationship, but Ashley is upset that Jimmy prefers her not to be a goth anymore. That's understandable. I mean, all that. But anyway, JT wants Toby to buy condoms after sex education, but Toby's not really comfortable about it. Fight for Your Right is basically the episode which Raj is not really happy with Emma protest against genetically modified food or something like that. I mean, Emma puts on a good presentation for Raj, but Raj says something about cost effectiveness and basically chews her up. Emma hands out flyers. She gets them taken away. Emma basically was going to walk away from the problem, but unfortunately, they did a cafeteria commercial. Emma inadvertently starts a food fight. Raj is basically upset and wants Emma to apologize. And Emma doesn't know if she should stand her ground or not. Basically, but Spinner is upset that Jimmy gets everything he wants. So Spinner actually steals Jimmy's MP3 player and all that. But anyway, Raj is upset that Emma refuses to back down. Well, Emma does apologize for the food fight, but I think basically he wanted Emma to not back down. She actually stands firm and tells Raj off. I think it was mostly for the fact that Raj is upset that Emma had the gall to chew him out in front of the whole school. So anyway, the next episode is How Soon Is Now. Paige is coming to terms with her rape when Dean actually comes back to Degrassi for a basketball game. Ellie and Markle do some kind of commercial thing, but anyway, Paige doesn't know what to do. And in the finale, Tears Are Not Enough, parts 1 and 2. Craig's dad returns to his life, and Craig doesn't know if he can trust his dad again. So basically, Albert does pretty well, but unfortunately Albert beats Craig. And then things look bad. JT decides to be Liberty's date on the condition that she tutors him. So anyway, Craig seems happy when his father dies because the abuse has stopped. Unfortunately, he can't get over it, and, it's hard to handle it. Paige and Spinner want to be loyal king and queen, and so does Jimmy and Hazel. But I guess for sympathy reasons, Craig and Ashley win the event and all that. Craig, of course, has a breakdown because he thinks he sees his father in the audience clapping for him, and he goes off on a tangent. They all try to stop him, but Radish basically says, don't engage. Basically, let him cry it out. So thanks to Terry's help, Craig realizes what he is doing for the tragedy. And speaking of Craig is my MVP for season 2. Mostly because, there were some powerful episodes bookending the season. I think Craig is basically my MVP. I mean, we learn about Craig's problems and all that, child abuse and all that. And Craig tries to become a better character in season 2. And for Julie, of course, Albert comes in and tries to demand Craig come back. Craig doesn't completely budge. And, Craig has to deal with his father's death and he doesn't know how to feel. But thankfully for Terry, she helps him out. But of course, things fall apart in season 3 for Craig. But anyway, that's the end of season 2. So thanks for watching and have a good day.